I want to switch gears and look at another one that we've got in focus today. My pick today is Apple. That stock gaining about 4% right now, close to 5% following its latest quarterly report card. That was better than expected, both top and bottom line. iPhone strength return and services revenue posted a record. They talked about people spending in the App Store more than they did last year. I listened to that earnings call, and CEO Tim Cook also talked a lot about emerging markets, particularly India, saying that it is an incredibly exciting market. And a lot of people, he commented, are entering the middle class there. And Cook said he hopes they can convince some of them to buy an iPhone. So the iPhone has returned as its crown jewel. As you know, the previous quarter, they hit a trouble spot in terms of a rare miss there.
Yeah, certainly. And India wasn't the only emerging market that Cook and team had pointed to there in terms of where we saw some of that strength. For analysts weighing in, pointing to the strength that we saw in Mexico and Indonesia, also in the UAE, all areas that could be future growth opportunities here for Apple. But Diane, like you said, iPhone sales, that was certainly the driver last quarter, with revenue gaining there, with the revenue of just over $50 billion there. Obviously beat in terms of what the street was expecting. And Nikiko, the big debate going into this report was whether or not Apple was overvalued, whether or not the fundamentals really matched up with the rally that we have seen since the start of the year, with shares up just over 30%. And it seems like, at least from today's move, that the street seems to be satisfied with these numbers.
Yeah, they're satisfied largely because Apple, when you think about all the tech stocks and the volatility that's happened, has kind of been the one steady play, right? But I want to get back to that point that Diane made about India, because there's so much excitement around this market. We keep hearing that in light of the challenges they're seeing in China, India could be the next one. We've heard this before, and I know I keep saying there's a word of caution here, but when you think about where India has been, they've really struggled to build out their infrastructure. They have a very fragmented market. And at the end of the day, when you think about the price point for Apple and how they compete in the Indian market, it simply hasn't been right in terms of where China has been versus where consumers are willing to shell out in India. So certainly a lot of promise there. And sure, Apple has to kind of look to India given the challenges they've seen in China. But it's going to be interesting to watch that play or that storyline, because we've heard from many companies before saying this is the next bet.